welcome back to my channel. I hope this video finds you well. That sounds very formal, but I hope you are good. My name is Mishka, and in today's video we will be building a shipping container inspired like home. It's very modern and dark in this home, I would say, but I wanted it to be really dark. I feel like the darker colors really contrasts nicely with the colors in Oasis Springs of the environment, so that's why I made it this dark color. And we are, like I said, building in our Oasis Springs, and then we are on the Nookstone lot. It's a 20 by 15 lot, so not too big. And I ended up having 2 bedrooms and then 1 bathroom in this house. The 2 bedrooms, the one is converted to an office, so is an office, but if you don't want an office for your sim, you can always make that an extra bedroom for guests. And then you have the main bedroom. The main bedroom does not have a bathroom, just because this is a smaller lot. I didn't want it to be too big since it is made out of containers. It kind of makes sense for it to be on the tinier side of a home. It's not a tiny home, it's too big for a tiny home, but I think it is still very small to the point where you don't get the feeling that it's a large house, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then since I just got eco lifestyle, I really wanted to check out the objects in the pack and stuff, and so I decided to make this a pack limited build, so it will only be eco lifestyle and then the base game. Now when I went to go and upload it from my library to the gallery, it did say that it had horse ranch and get together in it, but from my knowledge and to my memory, I did not place anything from get together and eco lifestyle on this lot, because I knew from the jump that I was gonna make it an eco lifestyle and base game build. So I'm not sure why the gallery is picking that up. I did go through all of the objects. I scoured through all of them to try and see maybe if I accidentally placed something, because I know when you use the eyedropper tool and you have packs filtered, so we only have build mode to filter or show certain packs. If you use the eyedropper tool, it will take off or remove the filters. So it doesn't, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe something slipped in there from horse ranch or get together, but I just don't think it is, and I think it may be the gallery picking up something, because this is actually or something else. I was gonna say, I really need to learn to finish my sentences, but I built this twice. So the first time I was building it, and OBS, which is my recording software that I use it, the image was out of place, so on the one side of the screen you were kind of seeing double, so I had to bulldoze the lot, start over again to record this. It actually happened with my Monster Eye doll video that I also put out now recently. I don't know why it keeps on doing that, but it was okay. Luckily this build is not too big, and because you're kind of seeing double, it's sometimes difficult to notice that that's what is wrong, because sometimes I'll go, while I'm recording, I'll go out and I'll check, is it recording, is everything fine. So I didn't really notice that, I guess, on my first time checking, and then my second time I noticed, but it's not recording properly, so I had to rebuild it. But luckily, like I said, this is an easier lot. It's just 4 or 3 squares that I made, since it is kind of a shipping container. I'm guessing you would use one full shipping container for one section and then another one for another section. And yeah, so I did have a inspo photo for this. That one was very black and dark, and it was giving very modern and sleek, and so I wanted to do the same, which is why I placed windows everywhere. And the paint on the outside is from Eco Lifestyle. I do wish it was a more solid black color instead of the gray, but I'm guessing the gray is more realistic for shipping containers. I've never really seen a solid black shipping container. I could be wrong. I obviously don't spend a lot of time around shipping containers, so probably not the best person to rely on for that, but I just wanted it to be more solid black. It wasn't, though. It was this grayish black, which is the darkest swatch for that paint color. And then I used the trim from Eco Lifestyle as well, and the fences and all of the landscape really is from base game. There wasn't a lot of landscape to do since this is the desert, and if you look at Oasis Springs, it's very sparse, and you'll find landscape in certain sections. So I just try to look at the environment and then do the same for this lot so that it fit well into the environment. I think a problem with the lots in the Sims 4 is sometimes it can look a little bit out of place. You also are very restricted in the way that you can build. So for example, if you want to build something on a cliff, it can look out of place because that's not how the lots are situated. So yeah, sometimes I don't really love the lot situation with the Sims. But if you have, for example, the tool mod, right, which is what I use a lot in my builds and a lot of other Simmers use, you can use the tool mod to place things off the lot so that it looks more incorporated into the environment surrounding the lot. That's what I did with the tree at the back. You'll see me pulling it, and I'm actually pulling it off the lot, otherwise it would have cut into the windows. So that's often something that I'll do. I've done it in many other lots as well, where I think I just did it in my recent one. It's called Cala de la Promesa lot. I don't know if I'm butchering that. So if you haven't seen that video before, please go and check it out. I think that build turned out so well. It's so colorful. I just had so much fun decorating that build. And so on that build, the trees that are placed around the build, they are all trees that are placed off the lot using tool mod. So I think that's a really good way to make a build look more like it belongs in the environment, because like I said, I do think that's an issue with the Sims 4 world sometimes, that the lots just look out of place and can be kind of restrictive. Like any good builder, I guess, you try to make it look as good as possible in the lot that you chose. You can kind of currently see that there are no stilts placed on that one half of the build, but I do go back in and I place them on or I make that a stilt foundation, because the idea is that they I guess build the stilt foundation. If we looking at realism, build the stilt foundation, put on the 4 or 3 shipping containers that I guess this would be made out of, and then put a roof on top to make it a little bit more secure. And then for the roofing panels that I just placed up there, since I just got eco lifestyle, obviously I'm still learning the gameplay and whatever for the build, for the pack, and so I wasn't aware that Sims may need to clean those panels. So there is no way to get up there currently. That's why afterwards I ended up just removing it, because well, there is no way for your Sims to get up there and clean it. And I know you can upgrade it to make it self-cleaning, but I just feel like you know, if you would like this build to have like an eco element, I just wanted to see the objects. I didn't necessarily want to build for any of the skills or anything else related with eco lifestyle, because I've heard that eco lifestyle is a really good building pack. So I was interested in seeing the objects, and I think sometimes doing a pack limited build is the best way to see that. Yeah, so that's why I removed that. If you want the choice to put them for this build to have an eco element, then I guess you would have to add a ladder to the roof and then place the panels back on the roof. But now we finally made it inside, and the layout for the first floor is very open. We have a big kitchen, and the part that I worked on now was like an entry area, small entry area. Otherwise that would have just been dead space. So I used the wall art from Eco Lifestyle. It's wall paneling, and because the spaces in between the panels was so large, or between the planks or rods, I don't know what you would call them, was so big, I ended up doubling it up so that it looked a little bit more closely together. I know in Snowy Escape we have one that is a little bit better, they are a little bit closer together, but obviously we can't use Snowy Escape in this build. So I tried to make that with the Eco Lifestyle wall pieces as well. I love wall pieces like that. It's super versatile because you can use it as headboards for wall art, you can use it as dividers, yeah, to like separate 2 spaces out and so on. And so yeah, I really like that now I have that option, because I know I have some in Get Famous as well, but those ones are larger, they are thicker, and these ones are just a little bit thinner. And then with Snowy Escape, that is very thin wall paneling. But anyways, enough about that. We are now by the kitchen, and I wanted it to be black and sleek and like a modern kitchen. And so I use base game counters. We don't have a kitchen set with Eco Lifestyle, I think. So I just use base game counters, and then I use another base game cabinet from a different kind of kitchen set. I didn't want to use the modern one, the kitchen cabinets that goes with the bottom, because I like the pattern on the top, and I thought it just added something interesting to the kitchen, other than, you know, it just being the modern cabinets that comes with the bottom surfaces. Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought a little bit, but that's what I was trying to say. And now we are working on the living room area. I wanted the living room area to be at a place where there were like all of these windows, so that it's kind of looking out. I do wish now in hindsight that I placed it towards the back, because at the back of the slot there is like a river, and you know, you have the big dinosaur in the background, and then the garages and stuff. I just think it's a better view than what's in the front, because at the front there's power lines and another house, another base game house, which I've actually decorated before on my channel. I think it was my first proper speed build video, and it was the sand trap flat that I decorated, and that was a base game only build. So I guess the theme for this part of Oasis Spring would be base game, or you know, base game with another pack. I think that would make sense. I do want to kind of do like a rebuilding Willow Creek or Oasis Springs. I guess it just makes sense to start there, because those are the worlds that come with the base game, and then, you know, building one lot at a time to kind of fit more into my ideas of those worlds. But I don't know, I feel like that would take me a really long time to do, to rebuild every single lot. I am kind of doing that now, because you'll see every video that I post is a certain lot on, I mean, a certain build on a different lot. So I've never built on the same lot twice. So maybe, you know, I am kind of doing that now, but maybe I should just be a little bit more intentional about it, so that I can create, you know, my perfect version of a Willow Creek save file or an Oasis Springs save file, and then maybe even do it for the rest of the worlds, but that will take me really long. So for the living room, I just wanted to bring in a little bit of color, and so I went with the navy blue. The rug kind of inspired everything else in that room, and I think everything there is base game except for the lights. Yes, I didn't really like the couch that came with Eco Lifestyle, so I stuck with the base game there. Decorating the slot was fairly easier. I think maybe it's because it is pack limited to only Eco Lifestyle and base game. There's less objects to look at and get distracted by, because that's definitely something that happens with me. I'm always getting distracted by some kind of object. But anyways, we are now in the bathroom, and for the bathroom I just wanted to create something simple. I did want to add something different to the walls, since it is only this black tile that it ends up being. So I put that wall thing from Eco Lifestyle, wall art from Eco Lifestyle behind the toilet. And then I just created a small counter space. Since this is the only bathroom, I felt like, you know, the person who was living here would need more space to store the bathroom things. What do you call that now again? The word is escaping me. But yes, I did come back into this room to put the shelf back and clutter it up a little bit more. I think at this point the idea was not really of what I wanted to do. It wasn't really making a whole lot of sense to me, so I did come back, and I ended up changing that, but I do show it at the end. I think I just did like a cluttering or more cluttering at the end of the lot, because I felt like it needed just a little bit more of a lived-in look. I didn't want it to look messy or anything like that. I don't get that from the kind of person that I feel like would be staying here. I do want to challenge myself though to build something really messy and like broken down and stuff, because I don't think I've never done it. I've never done that. And so for here, I just wanted to add another picture frame, more art to this section. And so I just took a painting, sized it down, and then placed it like right above the, well, that was like 3 little accent tables that I used next to each other. And then I used the tool mode to rotate it so that it looks like it is tilted against the wall, or like it's a picture frame. And then now we've moved upstairs, and I kind of did work out the layout a little bit. It's going to change there in that corner. You'll see me place down a mirror and then a plant, but I do end up removing it. And because I wanted to make the office a little bit bigger, I feel like the person that lives here would work from home. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but he would either be a writer or a journalist. And I definitely get single male, like he's career driven. He's very clean cut. He is a bachelor, and that's also another reason why I didn't add a second bedroom here. I don't feel like he would have anyone living over. It's just him here, and that's why you'll see the open space that the plant is currently placed in. I just made that like a home gym. I am reluctant to usually add like gyms and stuff like that. Any object that the sim is just like attracted to, like moths to a flame, because then they only do that. It's the same with like a computer, but I feel like a computer is a standard object that you would obviously have in a house where the sim works from home. But when it's fitness equipment and stuff, all they do is work out. I had this teen in a different family, and I put a home gym there, and the next time I came back to that family, she was jacked. It was crazy. She looked crazy. But yeah, I ended up just going into CAS and toning it down a bit, because I did make a very sporty sim. It's in my CC save file. So she was a ballerina, and then she was working as a ballerina after school as well. And so I think she was kind of into fitness. It made sense for her, but she looked weird. It was not the look I was going for with her. So that's why I'm reluctant to usually place things like that in here. And then also in my last lot in Cala de la Promesa, oh my goodness, I placed laundry, right? And I said in that video that I'm scared to place laundry, because then, you know, you would always have to do laundry. And this doesn't kind of relate to objects that the Sims always, you know, are drawn to, but it kind of relates to a different issue, that the laundry situation is just so excessive that I ended up loading 2 versions to the gallery, one with an extra room and without the laundry, and the one with laundry, because by the time I had to upload that lot, because I play tested it first and then I uploaded it to my library, there was laundry everywhere. And so I had to upload it to the library like 2 more times, because I would discover laundry in a different place, and that just annoyed me so much. There was also plates and cups placed in a section of the build that Sims could not even reach. Thankfully, I found that before I uploaded it to the gallery. Otherwise, there would have been unpleasant moodlets all the time, and you would have never known where the hell that cup and plate was. Yeah, so things like that's why I don't love playtesting lots, because the Sims just get up to so much nonsense in the builds. And because, you know, you want to change things if you run into any issues, the lot that you may have loaded up before may not be you know, the one that you want to upload to the gallery. So there was just some problems that I encountered with color, and that's a big lot. So and also I had a dog, and the dog was leaving fur everywhere while I was playtesting the lot. It was kind of a nightmare to get that lot up to the gallery, but we got there eventually. There's another big build that I'm currently playtesting that I just finished, and I just thought that this lot would be a good in between, you know, those 2 bigger lots that I just built. And so we have now moved on to the bedroom, and I wanted to create some separation in the bedroom. And so I decided to draw this wall and then place columns on the side. I like you know, when I have a wall in the middle of nowhere, to just place a column on either side to make it look like it's meant to be there, I guess. And then this bed is from the base game update that we just got in the black swatch. And then I think I'm using for the most part base game, but I know the wall paint was, or the wall paneling was from Eco Lifestyle. Yeah, so I think this one was really more so base game than it was Eco Lifestyle. I think maybe the design choice that I went up for, or I went with for this build, wasn't really drawing me to the Eco Lifestyle objects. But I do like a lot of them. I like the plants that comes with the Eco Lifestyle and the idea of candle making. And I was thinking of building a candle making studio soon. I feel like, you know, that would have actually fit so perfectly with Artistic Alchemy, but I feel that I can build something more related to candle making in the future. Because for now, I am breaking from businesses and hobbies. I've done so many businesses and hobbies builds at this point. And so I know I mentioned also in the last video with Cala de la Promesa that I was looking to build something that was not really my style. And, you know, that I was going to have, I think it was going to be challenging and whatnot. But I'm going to put a pause on that build and do it when I can get leave from work. Because I feel like I need the time to just, you know, sit and have not have to worry about anything else, to build the lot that I want to build and make it good and make it look like I want it to look. So that's why I'm gonna leave that lot, and we'll do some family homes. I'm challenging myself to do some family homes and yeah, just more realistic builds, hopefully, for the next, I wouldn't say the next few builds, because the next one I'm gonna build is probably something so out there, and then I'm saying that I wanted to build something realistic. So let me not say for the next few builds, but more of the builds in the future will be kind of more realistic, I guess. So yes, I think I just wanted to create a wall over here. I placed a towel on there because it makes sense for, you know, our home gym to have some towels in the place, so that when you, I guess it's realistic that when you're sweating, the towel will be right there. And then I placed a shelf on top. I thought maybe that I could find a water bottle or something in debug, but I didn't. I couldn't find anything like that in debug, so I just placed some clutter up there, you know, that trophy. I did see later on that there was a trophy with a barbell in, like a huge barbell trophy, and I wish I used that one instead, but for the sake of not, you know, going back and changing anything, I kept the one that was over there. It kind of does look like a man flexing, I guess is what it's called. And then I just thought also here to put some mail out that he received, and he kind of just threw on the front table. Maybe it could be like people writing to him that he needs to write on this or whatever. I don't know, I guess that's like kind of the idea behind the letters. But now you'll see me make finishing touches in the bathroom. But this is where I'm going to end the voiceover. You can find this build on the gallery under SimWithMishka. And if you have any other ideas, please don't forget to pop that in the comments. And if you have not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see more of my content. Thank you so much for being here, and I will chat to you in the next one. Bye bye.